Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jnana Jana Shalakya Chakshulvita Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bodhale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashati Veshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we'll see, reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Lila chapter 5, how Pradyumna Miśra received instructions from Rāmānanda Rai. So it has 160 plus verses, so we'll finish in 2 days. Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hema Divyacha Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. I'm infected by germs of material activity and I'm suffering from the voids of envy. Therefore, falling in the ocean of humility, I take shelter of the great physician, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi. All glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Indeed, he is the most glorious and merciful. I offer my respectful obeisance unto Advaita Prabhu, the ocean of mercy, and all the devotees such as Swarup Damodar Goswami, Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Rupa Goswami, and Sri Sanatana Goswami. One day, Pradyumna Miśra came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, offering his respects and inquiring from him with great submission. My lord, he said, kindly hear me. I am a cripple-minded householder, the most fallen of men. But somehow, by my good fortune, I have received the shelter of your lotus feet, which are rarely to be seen. I wish to hear topics concerning Lord Krishna constantly. So this is the wish of a devotee. A devotee likes to hear about Krishna constantly. Vasudeva Kadaruchi, that's what we should develop. Be merciful unto me and kindly tell me something about Krishna. So he's asking Mahaprabhu that please tell me something about Krishna. I want to hear about Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, I do not know about topic concerning Lord Krishna. I think that only Rāmānanda Rai knows, for I hear these topics from him. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tell like this? Iswayam Bhagavan Krishna. Why
he
is
wants
he
to
telling that?
glorify the devotee.
He wants to hear
glorify his devotee.
Glorify the devotee, but what else?
He wants to hear from his devotee.
Wants to hear from his devotee. What else? What does the statement prove?
He's Sakhi, Lalita Sakhi.
Is, yeah, some say Vishaka, some say Lalita.
Vishaka Sakhi.
Yeah, what else? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when it is said that Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva knows, Brahma knows, Vyasa Veti, na Veti. Vyasadev knows or may not know Srimad Bhagavatam.
He doesn't know about himself.
Yeah,
Because
Krishna doesn't know about himself, and devotees only can know about Lord. That's why only a devotee can know Lord. That's why Krishna had to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of a devotee. Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam. Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. Bhakta Avataram. Bhaktakya Namami. Bhakta Shaktikam. Why did he come in a form of a devotee? Only a devotee can understand Krishna. Krishna himself could not understand him. So that's why he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a combined form of Radharani. Who is Radharani? The greatest among devotees. So here it is said that I don't know anything about Krishna. Because he's Swayam Krishna, he don't know. A devotee knows, like a Rāmānanda Rai. Yes, he's glorifying his devotee. Yes, he likes to hear from his devotees. But still, the line proves that only a devotee can know Krishna. Krishna himself could not know him. Right? That's why he had to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could know about himself. But when he was Krishna, he could not understand himself. So when Vyasadeva becomes a disciple of Narad Muni, yes, he can understand Krishna. But then if he becomes Swayam Bhagavan, he's not able to understand. So that's a point here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions. Only Rāmānanda knows this topic. It is your good fortune that you're inclined to hear topics regarding Krishna. So our real good fortune is not to have all material possessions. It's the inclination to hear about topics regarding Krishna. That's the quality which Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati saw in Srila Prabhupada. He likes to hear. We should give our ears to Krishna. The more and more you hear about Krishna, what happens? Your heart gets purified, and then you get Shrinvata Sakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayanta Badhrani Vidinodi Suhrasadam. The more you hear about Krishna, then Hridayanta Badhrani, all the abadras, all the unwanted things in the heart goes, and the heart gets purified. The best course for you would be to go to Rāmānanda and hear these topics from him. I see that you have acquired a taste for hearing the talks about Krishna. So Vasudeva Katharuchi, we already discussed this. How do we get it? How do we get the Vasudeva Katharuchi, or to that inclination to hear about Krishna? How do you develop taste?
With devotee association and hearing from pure devotees.
Devotee mercy.
Then?
And chanting.
Then what does Bhagavatam says?
Seva to the devotee.
Very good, seva.
Yes.
Shushrusha Shraddha Danasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Shlogani Shevana Syan Mahat Sevaya Shushrusha Shraddha Danasya Vasudeva Katharuchi. If you want to have ruchi for Vasudeva Katha, what should you do? Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. You should do seva, service to pure devotees. And who's a pure devotee now with us? Srila Prabhupada. And how do you serve him? Reading his books, hearing his lectures, preaching Krishna consciousness. That's how you serve Prabhupada. The more you serve Prabhupada, the more you get the taste to hear about Krishna, Vasudeva Katharuchi. Therefore, you're extremely fortunate. Not only you, but anyone who have awakened such a taste is considered the most fortunate. You should have the taste to hear Harinam or taste to hear Harikatha. That's why you are here. All of you are fortunate, because otherwise, why did you come here? You could have gone for a movie. You could have watched so many things in the YouTube. Why did you come spend your time and you're coming to the class daily, or you're coming Nityam Bhagavata Seva every day? You come and hear topics regarding Krishna, right? Because you have developed that taste. Anyone who have awakened that taste is considered the most fortunate. A person who properly performs his regulative duties according to Varna and Ashrama, but does not develop his dormant attachment for Krishna or awaken his taste for hearing and chanting about Krishna, is certainly laboring fruitlessly. Shrama eva hi kevalam. He's just wasting his time. What is it? Manushya janama paya Radha Krishna nabajiya Janiya shuniya visha Kaino. Manushya janma paya. Even after getting human form of life, Radha Krishna nabajiya. If you don't worship Radha and Krishna, Janiya shunya visha kaino. You're just purposely drinking poison. So we are misusing the human form of life. No, we should not be. No, even cats and dogs can hear, but will they be able to understand? No. Purposely, even a child can participate in this. Even a child, even though they don't understand, a cat and a dog can. A child cannot understand the thunder. It's because of the clouds are rubbing, or there is going to be rain. Just hear the thunder sound, and he's like, "Oh, it's thunder." No, even a child can realize it. He don't know the chemical reaction behind it, the water is evaporating and all that. He may not be knowing, but he knows it's thunder. So purposely, these transcendental vibrations are so pure that even a child will be able, his consciousness. Now that's what the example where Prahlad was in the womb of Kayadu, and he know everything about Krishna. Why? Because it's going to the consciousness. So hearing and chanting of Krishna, we should awaken the taste for hearing and chanting. If we don't awaken this taste now, then how do we remember Krishna at the time of death? No, so now it's the time to awaken the taste for hearing and chanting about Lord Krishna now itself, as soon as possible. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumarai achuret pratnya dharman bhagavataniha durlabam manusha janmam tadabi adhruvam arthadam. Durlabam manusha. It's very rare to get a human form. So we need to awaken our dormant attachment for Krishna as soon as possible, and awaken by hearing and chanting. We should have the taste for chanting. Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj says, whenever you get free time, if you take your japa beads and chant, Whenever you get free time, you take Prabhupada's books and read. Whenever you get free time, you hear Prabhupada's lecture. Means you're advancing. Means you got the taste for hearing and chanting. So we should do that. Pradyumna Miśra, being thus advised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, went to the home of Rāmānanda Rāya. There, the servant of Rāmānanda Rāya gave him a proper place to sit down. Unable to see Rāmānanda Rāya immediately, Pradyumna Miśra inquired from the servant, who then described what Sri Rāmānanda Rāya was doing. There are two dancing girls who are extremely beautiful. They're very youthful and they're expert in dancing and singing. Sri Rāmānanda Rāya has taken these two girls to a solitary place in his garden where he's teaching and directing them to dance according to the songs he has composed for his drama. Please sit here and wait for a few moments. As soon as he comes, he will execute whatever order you give him. While Pradyumna Miśra remained seated there, Rāmānanda Rāya took the two girls to a solitary place. With his own hands, Sri Rāmānanda Rāya massaged their bodies with oil and bathed them with water. Indeed, Rāmānanda Rāya cleansed their entire body with his own hands. Although he dressed the two young girls and decorated their bodies with his own hands, he remained unchanged. Such is the mind of Sri Rāmānanda Rāya. Like we know about Haridas Thakur, how the prostitute and Maya Devi herself came and tested. He was not changed. Similarly, Rāmānanda Rāya is pure devotee of the Lord. While touching the young girls, he was like a person touching wood or stone. His body and mind was unaffected. So this is how we saw how a liberated soul is. Like Shukadeva Goswami. No, he didn't even bother. The Matajis were taking bath naked. He didn't even care. And even they didn't bother to dress themselves because Shukadeva Goswami was a pure devotee, a liberated soul. So similarly, Rāmānanda Rāya is also eternally liberated. Vishaka Sakhi, Lalita Sakhi. So the girls didn't feel anything. And this is how a pure devotee is. A pure devotee, even though in the material body, even though in the material world, is considered liberated. Iha yasye haryadase karmana manasa gira nikileshapi avasteshu jivan muktasa uchyate. Now, their mind, body, words are dedicated to Krishna, that jivan muktasa uchyate, they considered liberated already, even though in this material body, in the material world. The example given is a dry coconut. The dry coconut, you just shake, you can hear the sound inside. So you break the coconut, it just comes out. So even though within the shell, the coconut is not attached to the shell. Right? And then, so even though in the material body, in the material world, the pure souls or pure devotees of the Lord are already considered liberated. Sri Rāmānanda Rāya used to act in that way because he thought of himself in his original position as a maid servant of the Gopi. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalo Dasa Dasa Nadas. That's what he considered them as his servant, as their servant. Because although externally he appeared to be a man, internally in his original spiritual position, he considered as a maid servant, considered the two girls as gopis. So internally his Swarupa Avastha, Mukti Swarupa Avastha. So that Avastha was that he is Vishaka Sakhi, the Sakhi. So that's why externally he might be in the body of a man. That's just a boat we got to cross over this material ocean of suffering. It doesn't matter. No, I already told the story that when a Mataji wrote to Prabhupada, I'm not able to advance like Prabhus. I'm a Mataji. I'm a female. I have a female body. I'm not able to advance like a man. They can do take brahmachari, and so many young girls have told me, Mataji, why we can't take brahmachari? I don't want to get married. I want to become a brahmacharini. And Prabhupada never encouraged all that. But society is such a way that a girl get exploited because of that. So why we are not able to do that? Why we can't become pujaris, or why we are not able to do all these services? And Prabhupada, I'm not able to advance like the Prabhus are doing. So Prabhupada wrote back. What did Prabhupada write back? Does anyone know? What was Prabhupada's reply? What was Prabhupada's reply? Okay, no idea. Okay, so Prabhupada said, if you think you're a female, you'll never advance. You're not this female, you're not this body, you're spirit soul, right? So it doesn't matter which outer covering or dress we got. It's a male body or a female body, it doesn't matter. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates were all grihasthas. They all went back home, back to Godhead. So it doesn't matter which ashrama you are in, brahmachari or grihastha, or a male or a female body, it doesn't matter. What matters is your consciousness level, your service to Krishna, or your intention to please Krishna. That's what is important. Whether you're developing love of Godhead or Vasudeva Kataruchi, that's important. It doesn't matter. So here, Prabhupada says, if you think you're a female, you will never advance, but you're not a female, right? So all have an equal chance to advance. The greatness of the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exceedingly difficult to understand. Sri Rāmānanda is unique among them all, for he showed how one can extend his ecstatic love to the extreme limit. Rāmānanda directed the two girls how to dance and express the deep meaning of his songs through dramatic performances. He taught them how to express the symptoms of continuous natural transcendental ecstasies with the movement of their faces, their eyes, and other parts of their body. Through the feminine poses and dances they were taught by Rāmānanda, the two girls precisely exhibited all these expressions of ecstasy before Lord Jagannath. Then Rāmānanda fed the two girls sumptuously with sumptuous prasad, and sent them to their homes unexposed. Every girl he trained the two Devadasis how to dance, who among the small living entities, their mind always absorbed in material sense gratification, could understand the mentality of Sri Rāmānanda. When the servant informed Rāmānanda of Pradyumna Miśra's arrival, Rāmānanda immediately went to the assembly room. He offered his obeisances to Pradyumna Miśra with all respect, and then with great humility spoke as follows. So, sir, you came here long ago, but no one informed me. Therefore, I am certainly become an offender at your lotus feet. My entire home has been purified by your arrival. So this is how, when pure devotees come to your house, what happens? The whole place gets purified because they carry Krishna in them. The whole place becomes Vrindavan. What can I do for you? I'm your servant. Pradyumna Miśra replied, I came simply to see you. Now I have purified myself just by seeing your honor. So just by seeing a pure devotee, they get purified. Because Pradyumna Miśra saw that it was late, he did not say anything else to Rāmānanda. Instead, he took leave of him and returned to his home. The next day, when Pradyumna Miśra arrived in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord inquired, have you heard talks about Krishna from Sri Rāmānanda? Pradyumna Miśra thereupon described the activities of Sri Rāmānanda. After hearing about these activities, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to speak. I am a sannyasi, he said, and I certainly consider myself renounced. But what to speak of seeing a woman? If I hear the name of a woman, I feel changes in my body and mind. Therefore, who could remain unmoved by the sight of a woman? It's very difficult. Everyone, please hear these topics about Rāmānanda, although they are so wonderful and uncommon that they should not be spoken. The two professional dancing girls are beautiful and youthful. Yet Sri Rāmānanda personally massages their entire body with oil. He personally bathes and dresses them and decorates them with ornaments. In this way, he naturally sees and touches the private parts of their bodies. Nevertheless, the mind of Sri Rāmānanda never changes, although he teaches the girls how to physically express all the transformation of ecstasy. His mind is as steady as wood or stone. Indeed, it's wonderful that even when he touches such young girls, his mind never changes because he doesn't see any difference and he is actually a liberated soul. The authority for such act is a prerogative of Rāmānanda alone. For I can understand that his body is not material, but has been completely transformed into a spiritual entity. So this is what a spiritual entity. He never sees whether it's a stone or a wood or a girl. No, it doesn't see all these differences. So he's completely transformed into a spiritual entity. Is there any voice or disturbance coming now? Or is it okay? No, is it fine?
It's okay.
It's fine?
Fine, Mataji. Yes, it's
okay, thank you. He alone and no one else can understand the position of his mind. But I can make a guess in terms of direction from the Shastra. The Vedic scripture Srimad Bhagavatam gives a direct evidence of this matter. When one hears or describes with great faith the pastimes of Lord Krishna, such as his rasa dance with devotees, the disease of lusty desire in his heart and agitation caused by the three modes of material nature are immediately nullified and he becomes sober and silent. So if we hear the Rasa Lila pastimes of Krishna and lusty desire of the heart will just go away. But if it doesn't go, then that means we have not been purified yet. Okay, so Prabhupada says, even after hearing the Rasa Lila, what will happen? Your heart will become purified. Tasting transcendental effulgent sweet ecstatic love of Krishna, such a person can enjoy life 24 hours a day. The transcendental bliss of the sweetness of Krishna's pastime. A transcendently sober person who with faith and love continuously hear from a realized soul about the activities of Lord Krishna in his Rasa dance with gopis, or one who describes such activities can achieve full transcendental devotional service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality Godhead. Thus, lusty material desires, which are the heart disease of all materialistic persons, are for him quickly and completely vanquished. Once Prabhupada went to Chennai, and there it was a house program or something, and the Matajis and Prabhu, now all of them, they asked, they are not complete devotees, and they just something. Prabhupada went there and they asked, Prabhupada, can you please explain the Rasa Leela of Krishna? And they were so interested to hear it. The so-called professional reciters of Bhagavad-gita, Saptah, they also do this just to make money. Now they speak Rasa Leela, they cry and they go greedy, which Prabhupada never appreciated. Never appreciated. So he's like, so they went on requesting, please can you speak about Rasa Leela? And Prabhupada kept on avoiding, and finally they went on asking. Prabhupada's like, you might be qualified to hear about Rasa Leela of Krishna. I'm not qualified to speak about the Rasa Leela of Krishna. Prabhupada, the pure eternal associate, is telling that he's not qualified to speak of Rasa Leela. Who are we to speak? Sometimes we explain to all these neophyte devotees about Rasa Leela. Don't take it. I request all of you, don't discuss this topic with anybody. Just skip it because they won't be able to understand. You need to read the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then only can you enter the 10th canto, which is the sweetest pastime of Krishna. First, let you read the 9 cantos and understand who Krishna is, the creation and his all power. And then you go to the private leelas or the intimate leelas or the leelas in the Vrindavan and the gopis, because that's the most intimate and no normal person cannot understand. Only devotees can understand, because they'll never misunderstand Krishna. And others, they tend to misunderstand Krishna. That's not nice. If a transcendently situated person following the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami hears and speaks about Rasa Leela of dance of Krishna, is always absorbed in the thought of Krishna while serving the Lord day and night within his mind, what shall I say about the result? It's so spiritually exalted that it cannot be expressed in words. Such a person is eternally liberated, associate of the Lord. His body is completely spiritualized. Although he is visible to the material eyes, he is spiritually situated, and all his activities are spiritual. By the will of Krishna, such a devotee is understood to possess a spiritual body. So that's why all these Maharajas and the sannyasis, they have dedicated their life to Krishna and they put into samadhi. Why? Because their body is spiritual, not material. Because they are immersed in Krishna consciousness, that they are already liberated. Sri Rāmānanda is situated on the path of spontaneous love for Krishna. Therefore, he is in the spiritual body and his mind is not materially affected. I also hear topics about Krishna from Rāmānanda. If you want to hear such topics, go to him again. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Rāmānanda to speak because in Dwapara Yuga, Rāmānanda came as who? Rāmānanda came as who in Dwapara Yuga? Put in the chat. Type in the chat. Who was Rāmānanda in Dwapara Yuga when Krishna came? Arjuna, right? So the same Vishaka Sati, Arjuna spoke and Krishna spoke and Arjuna heard in Dwapara Yuga. Same Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asked Arjuna, Rāmānanda to speak, and Krishna heard. You can mention my name before him, saying he has sent me to hear about Lord Krishna from me. Go hastily, and while he is in assembly room, hearing this, Pradyumna Miśra immediately departed. Pradyumna Miśra went to Rāmānanda, who offered him this couple of obeisance and said, please order me. What purpose have you come? Pradyumna Miśra answered, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sent me to hear topics about Lord Krishna from you. So hearing about Krishna is important, and from whom are you hearing? That's also important. So we should hear from the parampara, or we should hear from the right bona fide disciplic succession. And then it will affect. Otherwise, it doesn't have any effect. Like, for example, you want to get a degree, engineering degree or whatever degree, you need to go to the recognized university. You go to some fake college, that degree is not valid. You might be giving lakhs of rupees or you're studying, and that certificate is of no value. You can't get a job with that application, or this might be some fake university. You should go to the right university, the right people to hear and learn about the thing, and then your degree is valid. Similarly, you should go to the right person, the right parampara, the right sampradaya to hear about the Lord. Then only it has effects. Hearing this, Rāmānanda became absorbed in ecstatic love and began to speak with great transcendental pleasure. Following the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have come here to hear about Krishna. This is my great fortune. How else would I get such an opportunity? So, speaking about Krishna and hearing about Krishna, both are fortunate. Saying this, Sri Rāmānanda took Pradyumna Miśra to a secluded place and inquired him, what kind of Krishna Katha do you want to hear from? Pradyumna Miśra replied, kindly tell me about the same topics you spoke about Vidyanagara. You are an instructor, even for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What to speak of others? I am but a beggar Brahmana, and you are my Nijena. I do not know how to inquire. I do not know what is good and what is bad. Seeing me to be poor in knowledge, kindly speak whatever is good for me by your own good will. So inquiring is very important here. Tadvidi Pranipadena Pari Prashnena, he's asking questions. Therefore, Rāmānanda gradually began speaking on the topic of thus the ocean of transcendental knowledge of these topics became agitated. He began personally posing questions and then answering them with conclusive statements. And afternoon came, the topic still did not end. The speaker and listener both spoke and heard in ecstatic love, and that they forgot their bodily consciousness. How then could they pursue the end of the day? The same thing was seen in Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami. They didn't even eat, drink, water, or they didn't even sleep for 7 days because they were not in bodily consciousness when they heard Bhagavatam. The servant informed them the day has already ended. Then Rāmānanda ended his discourse about Krishna. Rāmānanda paid great respect to Pradyumna Miśra and bade him farewell. Pradyumna Miśra said, "I've become very satisfied." He then began to dance. He was in ecstasy hearing Krishna Katha. This is what Mahaprabhu also praised. Nayanamgala Darshudharaya Vadana Pratata Hridaya Gira Kuladaya Nistam Bhakukata Kavana Madhunade Bhavishyati. Shastakam, he says, when will my eyes fill with tears? When will my voice choke? And when will the hairs on my body stand on end when I hear your katha? That's ecstatic symptoms. Rāmānanda paid great respect to Pradyumna Miśra and paid him farewell. Pradyumna Miśra said, "I have become satisfied with the." After returning home, Pradyumna Miśra bathed and ate his food. In the evening, he came to see the lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In great happiness, he worshipped the lotus feet of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord inquired, "Have you heard the topics about Krishna?" Pradyumna Miśra said, "My dear Lord, you have made me extremely obliged to you because you drowned me in the nectarian ocean of talks about Krishna." So this is how your devotees are. They drown in the nectar of devotion. And they swim in the ocean of ecstasy. I cannot properly describe the discourses of Rāmānanda, but he is not an ordinary human being. He's fully absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord. Fully absorbed. You know, that makes a lot of difference. When you hear, that's why I told you have to hear from Prabhupada. You have to hear. He's a self-realized soul. This realized soul is a pure devotee. So when you hear from Krishna, what happens? It's like an injection in your heart. It's like the wordings of Prabhupada just pierce your heart and purifies you so much, because that's not different from Krishna. Because whatever Prabhupada is speaking, it said when pure devotees speak, it touches the lotus feet of Krishna and come out. Because Kumara Hridaya Sada Govinda Vishram, they have pure devotees. Pure devotees have Krishna in their heart. So when they speak, they're not speaking from here or here. They're speaking from the heart. And in the heart, there is Krishna in their heart. So when they speak, it touches the lotus feet of Krishna and comes out. And that's why when you hear them speak, it changes your heart. There is one other thing Rāmānanda said to me: "Do not consider me the speaker in these talks about Krishna. Whatever I speak is personally spoken by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like a stringed instrument. I vibrate whatever it costs me to speak." So actually, when we speak Krishna Katha, it's not actually we who speak. It's actually the Lord is sitting as Paramatma in our heart and using us to speak. We're just an instrument in their heart, in their hand, or it's the Guru Parampara makes us speak. In this way, the Lord speaks through my mouth. The Lord is speaking through the mouth to preach the cult of Krishna consciousness. Within the world, who will understand this pastime of the Lord? What I have heard from Rāmānanda is like a nectarian ocean of discourses about Krishna. Even the demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma, cannot understand all these topics. My dear Lord, you have made me drink this transcendental nectar of Krishna Katha. Therefore, I am sold to your lotus feet, life after life, like he surrendered. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Rāmānanda is a mine of rich humility." Therefore, he has attributed his own words to another's humility. These are natural characteristics of those advanced in devotional service. They do not personally speak of their own good qualities. Prabhupada never spoke, "Oh, I started ISKCON." Do you ever hear that? Prabhupada say, "I started ISKCON, it's all belong to me, or this is mine, that is mine." No. Prabhupada always says, I heard a lecture where Prabhupada says, "Because of my Guru Maharaj's mercy, because of Krishna's mercy, we started this movement," or we. It's like, why Prabhupada saying we? It's actually he. But then his spiritual master was with him, Krishna was with him. So he knows he's just an instrument in their hand. Nimitta matram bhavasabhisachi. He's just an instrument, and everything is done by Krishna or his spiritual master. And he says, he was thanking all his disciples. "My Guru Maharaj have sent you all to me so that I may assist in his service." No? So he always gives the credits to his disciples and spiritual master. He never takes credit. That's a real humility of a great soul. I've described but a fraction of the transcendental attributes of Rāmānanda as revealed when he instructed Pradyumna Miśra. Although Rāmānanda was a householder, he was not under the control of the 6 kind of body changes. Although apparently a pounds and shillings man, he advised even persons in the renounced order. So what are the 6 kind of bodily changes? This is from Bhagavad Gita. What are the 6 type of changes the body undergoes? Yes?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Body is born from mother's womb,
born from
then
mother.
stays for some time,
Yes.
then grows,
Grows,
then gives byproducts,
then
diminution,
and
then death, Mataji.
death.
Body change.
Very good. Yeah, that's the 6 bodily changes which under. So Rāmānanda is beyond that. He was not under the control of these because he was entirely liberated. To demonstrate the transcendental attributes of Rāmānanda, Sri Mahaprabhu sent Pradyumna Miśra to hear discourses about Krishna from him. The Supreme Personality God, Sri Mahaprabhu, knows very well how to demonstrate the qualities of the devotees. Therefore, acting like an artistic painter, he does so in various ways and consider this his personal profit. So he's actually demonstrating the quality of his devotee. And Mad Bhaktya Puja Bhi Adhikam. Krishna says, you have to worship my devotees more than me. No, that's very important. Chaitra Mahaprabhu is saying, don't hear from me. Even Krishna said the same thing. Kaundeya pradishanihi name bhakta pravishide. Oh Arjuna, you declare my devotees will never perish. Krishna didn't declare. Krishna told Arjuna to declare. Why? Krishna could have declared. Now, why did Krishna wants Arjuna to declare this?
He wants to glorify his devotee.
Devi Mataji, can you say?
He keeps up the promise of the devotee.
He'll keep the promise of the devotee. He might break his promise, but he'll never break the promise of his devotee. Good. Nijavritya Bhashtam, right? He keeps the promise. That's why Lord Narasimha Deva acted here, because he wanted to keep Brahma's promise. That's why he came from that particular pillar, because he wanted to keep the words of Prahlad and empower the devotees. So yes, he wanted to demonstrate the qualities of his devotee, and Krishna wants to prove that even though he breaks his promise, like he took a promise of not taking a weapon, but he broke it for pleasure of Bhishma. So similarly, he'll never break the promise of his devotee, because he is Bhakta Valsala. He is so dear to his devotees. There is yet another characteristics of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O devotees, listen carefully to how he manifests his opulence and characteristics, although they are exceptionally deep. To vanquish the false pride of so-called renaissance and learned scholars, he spread real religious principles, even though a Shudra or a low-born fourth-class man. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached about devotional service, ecstatic love, and absolute truth by making Rāmānanda, a grihastha born in a low family, the speaker. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself exalted Brahmana, Sannyasi, and Pradyumna Miśra, the purified Brahmana. Both became the heroes of Rāmānanda. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Rāmānanda, you speak about Krishna, what did Rāmānanda say? I'm not qualified. And what did Mahaprabhu reply for that? I think this is already over, no? The topics between Rāmānanda and
Kivanyasi Kiva Sudra.
Kibanyasa Kiba Shudra.
what does it mean, Malika Mataji?
Yeah, one who is the Brahmana or the sannyasi or any low born also doesn't matter. The one who knows Krishna Tattva, he will become the Guru, even though he is born in a Chandala family.
Very good, yes. So it doesn't matter where you are, how you are born as a Grihastha or a low born or any man. You know, so that's what. Kipa Vipra Kibanyas Shudrukenaya Ye Krishna Tattva Vete Sei Guru Haya. It doesn't matter you're a sannyasi or a brahmana or a grihastha or a shudra, whatever it is. Ye Krishna Tattva Vete. If you know Krishna Tattva or the truth about Krishna, say Guru Haya, you can become a guru. Right? So Mahaprabhu is like, why Rāmānanda, you are a grihastha? Because Rāmānanda say, I'm a grihastha, I'm a shudra. You are a brahmana, you are a sannyasi, so you should speak. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the sentence and said, it doesn't matter who you are. That's what ISKCON's principle is. ISKCON, you can see there's preaching happening. Is everybody Brahmana? Is everybody a brahmachari? No. a sannyasi. There's so many grihasthas preachers. There's so many shudras. Shudra means in the low one, not a born brahmana. But here slowly they get brahmanic initiation and lifts up. So how did Prabhupada start the movement? How did you think Prabhupada started 108 temples all over the world? It was not easy for Prabhupada. Some centers Prabhupada didn't go. He sent his disciples. You go and start a center. You go there. You go to China. You go to France. You go. No, he sends his disciples. He trained them and then he sends. So just because they know about Krishna. Prabhupada's like, you know about Krishna, that's enough. So then, because that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said. Many of the god brothers of Prabhupada was insulting him and criticizing him. Why you're giving a brahmanic to all these shudras, or you're giving, so, but then because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have done that. No, so Prabhupada is like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm following the Shastra. Because of that, it's gonna spreading because of so many preachers. We need so many preachers. And Krishna Tattva Vete. Why are we aspiring for Bhakti Shastri degrees? Not to get a certificate and print it and keep. No, frame it and keep. It's to become preachers. The more you preach, the more you get the mercy. And will become the preacher. Just doing yourself sadhana, that's not enough. Let's grow. Let's do paropakar. Let's preach. Now, when you do that, you get more mercy. And how do you become a guru? Ye Krishna Tattva Vete, say Guru Hare. If you know Krishna Tattva, then you know you become a guru. And that's what the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Amara Ati Guru Hana Tara Ye Desh. Yare Dekhi Tara Kahe Krishna Upadesh. That's his Atya, that's his order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Amara Ati Guru Hana, you become a guru. Tara Ye Desh. Wherever you're staying, you become a guru there. You don't have to run to Vrindavan, Mayapur. You be there wherever you are, become a guru. And what should you do? Whoever you see, you speak about Krishna Upadesh, which is Bhagavad Gita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited the glories of the holy name of the Lord through Haridas Thakur. Was born in a Muslim family. You remember, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking question and Haridas Thakur were replying to know the glories of the holy name. Mahaprabhu already know he's Krishna, but he want to hear from his devotee. And a devotee knows better than Krishna. Similarly, he exhibited the essence of devotional service through Sanatana Goswami, who had almost been converted to a Muslim. Also, the Lord fully exhibited ecstatic love and transcendental pastimes of Vrindavan and Srila Rupa Goswami. Considering all this, we can understand the deep plan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are just like the ocean of nectar. Even a drop of this ocean can inundate all the three worlds. Gaurangera Mathur Lila, Yar Karna Praveshila, Odiya Nirmal Balotar. Gaurangera Mathur Lila. The Lila of Gauranga Mahaprabhu is so madhurya, or it's so sweet. Yar Karna Praveshila. Whenever he enters anyone's ear, what happens? Hridaya Nirmal Balotar. The Hridaya, the heart will become purified. So that's the glory. A drop of ocean, that's enough. Oh, devotees, relish daily the nectar of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For by doing so, one can merge in the transcendental bliss that in full knowledge of devotional service. Teaching Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says us, relish daily. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, like that Nityam Chaitanya Charitamrita. You have to do Charitamrita Sevaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Karapana. Haide Premananda Bhakti Tattva Jnana. So you come to know about devotional service also, and you get a lot of happiness by hearing this pastime. Thus, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, accompanied by his associates, his pure devotees, enjoyed transcendental bliss in Jagannath Puri, Nilachala, by preaching the Bhakti cult in many ways. A Brahmana from Bengal wrote a drama about the characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and came with his manuscript to induce the Lord to hear it. The Brahmana was acquainted with Bhagavan Acharya, one of the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, after meeting him at Jagannath Puri, the Brahmana made his defense that Bhagavan Acharya spoke. First, the Brahmana induced Bhagavan Acharya to hear the drama, and then many other devotees joined Bhagavan Acharya and listening to it. All the Vaishnavas praised the drama, saying, very good, very good. He also desired that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hear the drama. Customarily, anyone who composed a song, verse, literary composition, or poem about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first had to bring it to Swarup Damodar to be heard. Why? Why it has to be heard by Swarup Damodar before going to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Why
He didn't want offense to the rasas. Rasa Abbas.
It's like which offense?
Rasa Abbas. He didn't want mixing of the rasas.
Yeah, he didn't want Rasa Abbas or mixing of the rasa. Yes. So rasa abhas means like the madhurya ras should not mix with Aishwarya ras, or the Sakya ras should not mix with Vasalya, something like that. Like sometimes you should not say, instead of Lakshmi Narayan, we should not say Radha Narayan or Radha Lakshmi. It should be Radha Krishna and Lakshmi Narayan. So the bhav is different. Lakshmi Narayan is worship in Aishwarya bhav, Radha Krishna is in madhurya ras. So the mixing of rasas or rasa abhas should not happen. So because of that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before going in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the poems and everything should be brought to Swarup Damodar, who is Lalita Sakti. If passed by Swarup Damodar Goswami, it could be represented Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to hear. If there were a hint that the transcendental mellows overlap in a manner contrary to the principles of Bhakti cult, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not tolerate it and would become very angry. That's why. Again, so transcendental mellows should not overlap. The rasas should not overlap. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not hear anything before Swarup Damodar heard it first. The Lord made this etiquette a regulative principle. Bhagavan Acharya submitted to Swarup Damodar Goswami. A good Brahmana had prepared a drama about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that appears exceptionally well composed. First, you hear it, and if it is acceptable to your mind, I shall request Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to hear it. Swarup Damodar Goswami replied, Dear Bhagavan Acharya, you very liberal cowherd boy. Sometimes the desire awakened within you to hear any kind of poetry. In the writings of so-called poets, there is generally a possibility of overlapping transcendental mellows. And the mellows thus go against the conclusive understanding. No one likes to hear such poetry. The so-called poets who have no knowledge of the transcendental mellows and the overlapping of the transcendental mellows cannot cross the ocean of the conclusion of the emotional service. Should not overlap the mellows. A poet who does not know the grammatical regulative principles, who is unfamiliar with metaphorical ornaments, especially those employed in drama, who does not know how to present the pastimes of Lord Krishna as condemned. Moreover, the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is especially difficult to understand. It's not easy to understand the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when the Lord comes in human form, in a devotee form. It's not easy. But we are able to understand why, because of the mercy of Prabhupada, costless mercy of Prabhupada, we are able to know something. One who have accepted the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as his life and soul can describe the pastimes of Lord Krishna or the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what Prabhupada means, a surrendered soul. Krishna Lila, Gaura Lila, Sekare Varnana, Gaura Pata Patma Yandra, Haya Pranadana. So only someone who have surrendered completely can explain these pastimes. It's not easy. Hearing the poetry of a person who have no transcendental knowledge and who writes about the relationship between man and woman simply causes unhappiness, whereas hearing the words of the devotee fully absorbed in ecstatic love causes great happiness. That's why when you hear a kirtan by a professional person, you hear a kirtan by devotees, there's a lot of difference, no? Because a professional person, just for money, he might sing the kirtan or read Bhagavatam just for money. But then when the devotees do that, because it's coming out of devotion, it's coming out of love, so that words, it's built because of ecstatic love, then it will cause a lot of happiness in your heart. The standard for writing dramas has been set up by Rupa Goswami. The devotee hears the introductory portion of these two dramas, they enhance his transcendental pleasure. We'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. And Mahaprabhu also enjoys the drama. Even Srila Prabhupada, ISKCON also we do that sometimes to attract new devotees or to attract non-devotees, or also to not forget the pastimes of the Lord in the drama during festivals and all, so that the pastimes get registered in our mind. And it's one way of preaching Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Any questions? Anything to add? We'll continue tomorrow. Yes, Hema Madhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Just one question, general question is there. The devotee who is living in Navdeep and one devotee who is living in Dham, Vrindavan Dham. So who will be liberated rapidly with the mercy of Lord Chaitanya? Just tell, because
see, both dhams are equally important, because in one place is Krishna's pastime, the other one is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. So, but Mayapur Dham is Audharya Dham. It's more merciful. Why? Because in Vrindavan, if you chant one round, it's equal to 1,000 rounds. But if you do one offense, it's equal to 1,000 offense. So when we live in a place of definitely some offenses will happen, na? Offense to Vrajavasis, offense to the Dham, offense to Seva, so many offense. So that offense gets multiplied in Vrindavan. But in Mayapur, there's no offense. Mahaprabhu doesn't take any offense because that's the Kali Yuga avatar. So you can decide. Both the dham, especially, you can't differentiate one dham from other dham. Definitely, it's a mercy. But if you can live in Vrindavan without doing an offense, great. The same effect you get in Mayapur. So we can't compare the dham. Both are Chintamani dham. It's where the Lord did his pastime. So we can't compare. But the problem is offense. Offense have to be taken care. So that's why Prabhupada never allowed us to stay in Vrindavan for a long time, because we might commit offense. Okay.
So one more general question is there related to, can I ask related to morning class, Atul Krishna Das Prabhu class?
What is it?
Can I ask
If I know, I
they told, he told about the Mahabharata, that in the Mahabharata also there are proofs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some proofs they are given in Matsya Purans, that so many Purans. So what are the proofs? Other one story I heard about Samudra Sen, in the Mahabharata time.
Yeah, so in the Mahabharata, do you want the story or want the proof or the
proof verse, some verse?
Yeah, so Bhagavatam, we have 11th canto, 5th chapter, 32nd verse. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yetnye Sankirtana Praye Jandihi Sumetasa. So that's from Bhagavatam. And Mahabharata, that Suvarna Varna Hemango, Varangas Chindanangadi, Sanyasha Vishamashanto, Nishta Shanti Parayana. So that's one. And so that's all proving that Krishna is going to come as Mahaprabhu. There are 100 reasons. There are 100 shastras which prove the reason.
Second one, can you write in the chat? Second one.
Suvarna Varna Hemango.
That you write in the chat. Can you?
Can search in the net something like Suvarna Varna Hemango. Okay, so just write.
Okay. Okay, Suvarna Hemango. I will try.
Suvarna Varna Hemango. Like Suvarna means golden. So the Lord came in the golden form. Suvarna Varna Hemango. Varangas Chandanangadi. He applied Chandan. And Sanyasa Veshma. He took Sanyasa Vesha. And Nishta Shanti Paran. He spread Shanti or peace. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Puja Devidas Mataji.
So just now you mentioned about this Suvarna Varna Hemango. It comes in the Vishnu Sahasranama.
Vishnu Sahasranama. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, 1,000 names of Vishnu. Mahabharata. It comes there.
Yes, Mataji. Bhupalli Mataji. So here, yes, as you said, Arjuna is Vishaka Saki and Sarup Damodar is Lalita Saki. So there's some confusion. Some says it doesn't matter because Krishna expands to Radharani. Radharani's first expansion is Vishaka Saki, Lalita Saki. All are one and the same, just expansion. So it is said Arjuna is Vishaka Saki in Goloka, and Dwapara Yuga he came as Arjuna. And in Kali Yuga, the same Vishaka Saki or Arjuna came as Rāmānanda. And Lalita Saki, it is said it's Sarup Damodar. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Vanchakalpadarupasya kripasindu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Kodi Vaishnavati ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.